All right, students, it's Mr. Lowry here today, and we're going to go over how to tie your karate belt. Now, the way your belt nut looks is really important. Not only is it supposed to be a certain way, but if your belt's all crazy looking all up and down, not only does this show lack of respect for your uniform, but lack of respect for yourself. So we want to make sure that belt knot looks perfect. So we'll start off with a loose belt. Now, my uniform doesn't have strings on it, but if it has strings, make sure you tie those strings, bring your belt across. Now, we want to fold the belt in half, end to end, just like this. We're going to go to the center of the belt, just like that. Take it and put it right underneath your belly button. You're going to bring it around back, just like this. Now, when I get around back, I'm going to switch hands. So see how I pinch this piece of belt? So I have both in one hand, and I bring this one around. Now, this side where I've got both of them in one hand, I'm going to take this piece and tuck it underneath. Bring it all the way around just like that. Now, you should be about here. So one is under everything, like this, and one is on top. The one that's under, you bring across. The one that's on top, you bring over that. Now, the one that you just brought over, you bring underneath everything and pull it out. Now, this is how tight your belt is going to be. So if I've got a really loose kind of cinch right here, my belt is going to be really loose. The knot just holds it in place. So you want to make sure this is nice and tight, or as tight as you want it. Straighten your uniform out. Then the one that's on top, you bring over. The one that's underneath, back over and through. One more time on the knot. The one that's on top goes over. The one that's on bottom goes over that and back through this loop right here. You pull that through, and guys, when you pull your belt tight, this is where a lot of people go wrong. A lot of people try to pull it tight like that, or I see some students do this thing. That's not what we want to do, guys. I like to call it popping your belt. So you take both ends and snap, just like that. That gives you a really nice tight knot. You've got that good triangle shape, and then you can kind of adjust your belt how you want it. So one more time, we'll go over this, and I know I've tied a few of you guys' belts and they're pretty tight. Secret to getting them undone is pinch these two pieces of belt, push it together, it comes right undone. So, from the top, make sure that uniform is tied, crossed over good. That's one thing, guys. I see a lot of people like this, and they've got their uniform all crazy looking. We don't want that, guys. The way your uniform is folded is just as important as the way your belt is tied. So, cross that uniform up real good. Take your belt, fold it in half. Take the two ends, make sure they're even, and then go to the center of the belt, just like that. Take that right underneath your belly button, bring it around back. This hand comes across, I grab both pieces of belt in one hand, just like this. This one comes around to the front. This piece, I kind of just use my fingers as a guide and slide that under everything, just like that. Now, I've got both pieces in front. The one that's under goes across my body. The one that's on top goes over that. And I take it, I use my thumb, kind of give myself a little room here. Put it in the belt and tuck it underneath everything. Pull it through, just like that. Remember, this is how tight your belt is going to be. I like to, once I get that cinch, make sure that my two pieces are still even, because I don't want one piece really short and one long. So, once you're here, the one that's on top goes over, one that's on bottom goes over that and back through the hole. Remember, we're not pulling our belt tight, we're popping that belt tight, and that, students, is how you tie your karate belt.